Well, hello there, my Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Join the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and doing this for a really long time, but only a YouTuber for about, maybe 6 months. Oh, the twists and turns of Virgo in their career. You understand me, my earth signs, don't you? Welcome if you're new to my channel. This is a general read, right? I always do Sun, Moon, Rising minimum for any zodiacal collective reading series that I do, throwing in Venus for anything relationship-based like the Path of True Love. So, you know, it's not going to fit for everybody. Please take what works. That's why I do the different placements, if you will, for zodiacal read. So do check your other signs. The Path of True Love read is a little bit different maybe than what you're used to. The Path of True Love is your spiritual path, right? Your divine love path. True love is divine love, but through the lens of your relationships. So other people may show up in this reading. It's not about twin flames or soulmates. That may show up. That's why I do twin flame readings and soulmate readings, which are different contracts. Go watch the clarifying the video I did clarifying twin flame soulmates and true lovers. I don't know if I'm doing a true lover spread this month. Usually I do it first before the Path of True Love, but not feeling it. And I'm doing soulmates next after this. I just got out of a twin flamer, man. Oof, I needed a break. But who knows, maybe they'll come around again. Supposedly they're supposed to. Boy, who cares? But that's why Path of True Love is your path. It has nothing to do with anybody else, except in the relationships, right? That's what I love about a good Path of True Love read, is that you get to see, you know, what's going on inside of you on the path, where you are on the path, and I think you're going to like this spread. I always download like a new spread whenever I do one of these reads, so I stay consistent with it throughout the series of 12, but always looking to grow and expand. Yes, yes. So please remember to breathe. So important that we consciously breathe, particularly through reading, so that when something hits, we can actually integrate the energy of it, exhaling anything that needs to go. If you get triggered by really not just anything I say in a reading, but in any reading, on video, on YouTube, in person, just breathe, right? Because you don't really know why it's triggering you in the moment. So just breathe through it. It's probably bringing up the next thing that needs to be loved inside of you, you know, whatever that trigger is, whatever that pain is. Or sometimes it's that ding, 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 ding resonance, right? People are like, oh, take what resonates. What does that mean? Well, it means how does it feel in your body, right? Because even if it's total disgust, that's an intuitive hit, right? So pay attention, right? Doesn't mean that they're necessarily accurate, but that they hit close to home on something, right? Cool. So we're going to start with Caroline Myss Archetype deck. All of the decks that I read are in the description box below. I don't read all of the decks every single time I read. They're at the bottom, but as you scroll down, you'll see there's some cool shit down there too. A couple of my ebooks, a bunch of my videos, even some classes on demand that you can take on Vimeo, Vimeo.com. Cool. You ready? Breathe. Oh, here we go. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, we have one archetype card to represent this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the Path of True Love, December-ish, but really timeless. The Path of True Love is timeless. Anybody can come to these readings at any time and get something that they need when they're guided to it. So can you please show us the soul power being developed for this Capricorn collective on the Path of True Love for this reading? And you've got the prostitute archetype. Don't freak. Everybody's got the prostitute archetype. It's one of the 4 survival archetypes. Even countries, right? Nations, corporations. Has very little to do with being a hooker. It might be in there, but it's maybe 2 to 5% of the archetypal power itself. It's a little on the nose, a little literal. Go read Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss, MYSS, author of the cards. The child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute are the 4 survival archetypes that every single one of us has, because that's how we learn the soul power of survival, how we negotiate it away. So this is going to be the dominant card. Now, to say, on the path of true love, we are often given opportunities to prostitute ourselves, but let's be clear on what we mean by that, at least by reading the lead and the gold, the shadow and the light. This is about alchemizing what's down here into up here. You with me? Take a deep breath. The shadow attribute of the prostitute archetype places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. It's like, well, I would speak my truth, but if I do, I might have to leave this relationship. I might have to give up the house. If I really accept that I am in a toxic entanglement, then I might have to leave and give up the comforts that I have, right? Give up the material considerations, places material considerations and security above self-empowerment, which I will tell you, I do not care what form the pre-incarnational soul contract takes, twin flame, true lover, soulmate. This rarely happens with soulmates. The moment it becomes abusive. No, I just don't mean troublesome. All relationships have their troubles. Even soulmates don't always see eye to eye. Soulmate contracts tend to work themselves out. But if you're being physically abused, psychologically abused, gaslighting is about someone trying to make you crazy by lying to you, right? It's the worst form of manipulation. If you are being abused in any way, shape, or form, you pick up your bed and walk. Go anywhere other than where this is, because that's why it's going down. It's going down so that you will empower yourself and choose your own empowerment, not negotiate your self-worth, your self-esteem away for security or material concerns. Let's look at the light. Light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. In other words, when someone asks you to do something and your spirit, your honor, the divine child of your heart says no, but you know if you say no, that it's going to challenge you on a survival level, and you say yes, instead of listening, you compromise your soul, you are going to repeat that shit over and over and over and over again. You might get a respite, and that's okay. This isn't a race. But do know, it's sort of like how the gods first tap you on the shoulder, and if you don't pay attention, they punch you on the shoulder until eventually they drop a fucking house on your sister. Not great. And then you get melted by a bucket of fucking water from a farm girl. Rough to that, right? So accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. This is what Path of True Love is all about. Will you stay in something toxic because you're afraid to be alone? Rather than love the self in solitary time, right? Tricky shit. So there's our foundation. What we're going to do is we're going to take the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, baby. Love, baby, that's where it's at. We're going to clarify the lead with the problem suit, half the frickin' deck, the Womp Womp cards, the Debbie Downer deck, and the light with the 3 suits combined of luck, healing, and grace. Shall we? We're going to take a deeper look at this prostitute archetype. Breathe. I know that was a lot. It's a lot to swallow, my prostitutes. Sorry, it's just my sense of humor. I inherited it from my mother, if that helps. Oh, my masters, please. 1 card in clarity, a problem card here, attached to the shadow attribute for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign prostitute archetype. What is an indication, something connected to the shadow of this prostitute archetype? Manipulation. Now that's the thing. Chances are, in the shadow, you're the one being manipulated. That's why I'm pretty sure they said gaslighting. Where everything in your soul, in your spirit, is saying something's off here, something's off here, something's off here. And when you bring it up, the person's like, no, you're paranoid. No, it's actually based on a movie called Gaslighting. It's a long story. Google it. If you're not sure what gaslighting is, But it's essentially trying to drive somebody crazy through manipulation and deception. Really, again, it seems the narcissist archetype is just everywhere nowadays, but particularly the coverts, the shy narcissists will do that, will lie, will manipulate. They are compulsive liars. Anything to keep their mask intact, right? So you might be the one being manipulated. However, you do have to flip that around as well in a reading like this to say, well, are you manipulating yourself, placing material considerations and security above self-empowerment? Like, I understand if there are kids involved, right? It depends on your situation. But let's see what we can do. Let's get some gold. Let's clarify a little bit about what you can focus on to move that into the light, the gold for yourself. How to cut them strings of manipulation, whether you're manipulating yourself, manipulating others, or being manipulated. Will you negotiate away the power of your spirit, right? So my masters, please, seriously, one card in clarity, a piece of gold, a clarifier for the light attribute for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign prostitute archetype on the path of true love. Yeah, self-worth. You are worthy of everything. The best that this world has to offer. We all are. We're the children of the gods. Often you'll hear in paganism, the hidden children of the gods. Yeah, hidden unto ourselves until we are driven inward to find our core, to find our innocence, our innocent hearts. Everything in this quantum hologram called life on planet Earth is happening for you. Why? Because you're worth it. Because you're a soul that came into a body in order to play the game called human life. And really the name of the game is what would love do? In this case, what would true love do? That this is about you really getting your self-worth, and that you are priceless in the sense that there is no need to negotiate the truth of who you are. Your spirit is divine. You are divine. Now, that's a lovely thought. How do you bring that all the way through into your conduct? How do you make that your highest truth, your highest virtue, and act accordingly? By walking the path of true love and learning as you go, because ultimately you can't get it wrong. It's just a learning curve. There's no one else you can compare it to. So you get that? That's pretty heavy duty. I mean, the prostitute archetype, manipulation connected to the shadow, self-worth connected to the light, right? The lead and the gold, manipulation, self-worth. We're going to get you 3 cards from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, past, present, future, where you've been on the path of true love, where you are on the path of true love, and where you're going on the path of true love. And then we will clarify that one each with the Mythic Tarot. So the voice of the goddesses, please. Oh, Persephone in particular, spring maiden, summer lady, queen of the underworld, please. One card in clarity to represent this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Where have they been on the path of true love? Where are they now? Where are they now on the path of true love? Where are they headed on the path of true love? Okay. I'll show you. I just wanted to get them all down on the table first, so I don't know what I'll be clarifying. So no reversals here. What we're dealing with here in the past is Pisces. Okay, the Pisces card. Now, court cards, if you're new to my channel, sometimes they're people, sometimes they're not. Even if they are people, they represent characters in the play, right? In the game of the path of true love that we deal with. But oftentimes they are reflecting something or indicating something within ourselves. So what do we know about Pisces before we even go into making it a person from the past? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But Pisces is mutable water, changing water, like the ocean, right? Waxing and waning like the moon. Ebb and flow of the waves crashing into the beach, back and forth. So mutable water, very deep, very unfathomable, deep emotion, connected to the 12th house, the collective unconscious, deep empathy. Absolutely one of the more, well, all the water signs are intuitive. All the signs have their own voices of intuition. But we're talking here an empathic skill where feeling everybody's everything on some level to the point where you're not exactly sure what's personal and what's impersonal, what's in you and what's in the collective, which means that you're probably, as a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, in the past, very connected to the emotions of others. Empathy can really be said, because there are different types of empathy. There's social empathy. Like you watch someone on TV and you can like, oh my God, I feel for them. That's so horrible that they're suffering that, right? That's, everybody's supposed to have that. Some people don't. Narcissists don't. They can't. They don't. They're wounded. If they feel their empathy, they have to feel all that pain. You get it? That's why they do what they do. It's fine. But the other is that intuitive, empathic skill. I am a clairvoyant empath. I feel as an earth sign, I have a Pisces moon, but as an earth sign, I feel people's emotions in my body physically, where I have to, a couple of times a day, that's why I like living alone, my cats are chill, be like, is this me feeling this? And sometimes I will feel something out of nowhere, and then a minute later I'll hear a kid screaming outside, right? Like not getting what it wants, screaming in pain. I'm like, oh, okay, well now I know, right? Breathe, and I bless that child, right? So there's something in the recent past there about that Piscean energy, deep shifting emotion, maybe feeling one way on a Tuesday and the complete opposite the next day, the Wednesday. Where you are on the path is the learner. I love this card. 8 of Pentacles, right? Think traditional 8 of Pentacles, like working at it. But this is a crone teaching a maiden how to do what she does, how to weave. And you can see in the background, she's already got one done. So she's done this before. So there is a process perhaps of mentoring, of learning, of a teacher, but oftentimes, because it's Pentacles, not so much book learning, but the learner through direct application and experience. So perhaps there is something that you've learned in this Piscean phase that now you're really learning it in the practical, physical, tangible sense of that. And that leads you in the future to the 5 of Blades. Now, the 5 of Blades is usually seen as arguments. What I like about in this deck, it's called the Hurricane. It's a lot of thought, right? Like arguments, yeah, sure, they can be mental, but this can be about having so many thoughts, right? If one breath is a thought, what's a hurricane, right? It's a lot of thoughts, a lot of other people's opinions, a lot of things to think about, just swirling and swirling and swirling around. Particularly if you're, once you come out of meditation, which in the traditional tarot is usually considered the 4, right? The 4 of Blades. To go into the 5, new information coming in, stirring things around, new thought, change of thought. 5s are numbers of change, right? Let's get some clarifiers from the gods on this using the mythic tarot. Juliet Sharman Burke's deck, love her so much. Never met her. My gods, please, one card in clarity for this Pisces energy going on here, for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Where have they been on the path of true love? We've got the Pisces card there, all of that emotion, all that sensitivity, right? The mystic and the addict, so much 12th house Pisces stuff going on there. Clarify, please. Well, the 5 of Pentacles. So walking away. Now, this is not the traditional walking away of the 8 of Cups. This is that thing, right? You know, just sort of like left out in the cold, right? Maybe stealing away in the night. There's some rejection going on there. So definitely that sense of being locked out, perhaps ghosted, right? Hate that fucking word, but it is what it is. So kind of feeling that. Perhaps, you know, in the recent past, for some of you in this collective, you left someone out in the cold, maybe out of necessity, or you were left out of the cold. And with the prostitute archetype, you might still be reeling and dealing from that one way or the other. Whether you locked out or were locked out. Well, the answer is within you anyway. I know. All the answers are always within us. They don't always just rise when we ask for them, right? It takes some inner work, some patience, some faith. So let's clarify this 8 of Pentacles learner. I love this card. I just love I mean, I'm an earth sign. You get me, Caps. But I love all of the earth cards in this Daughters of the Moon. So my gods, please clarify this Eight of Pentacles, the learner. Hey, no. If it was just one, I would have taken it. No. For this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, where are they on the path of true love, considering this Eight of Pentacles, the learner? Please clarify. All right, Two of Wands, not so much indecision, but sort of balancing the intent of what and why. A little indecisive in terms that you're getting clear on what you want, like next steps. Okay, I'm learning, but what you're learning is, well, it's sort of like, well, do I want to go back to a toxic situation, or do I want to take the risk? And if you look, this is Jason of Jason and the Argonauts, already given the quest to retrieve the Golden Fleece, and is really saying, well, do I want to go into the cave to see Chiron, the wounded healer, the Centaur, to prepare me for this trip, or do I want to walk the fuck away? Do I want to go back to what didn't work? Do I want to go back to toxic? Do I want to go back to what I was compromising myself for? Or do I want to do the inner work to heal so that I don't have to keep doing this over and over and over again? And it's okay if you do it over and over and over again. That's the self-correcting divine plan, right? So that you learn, so that you can be ready for the very things that you contracted to do. The things that we really want, our heart's desires, like happy, healthy, wealthy, wise relationships, in whatever form, it's written on our souls. But you got to see, it took so many lifetimes of psychological dysfunction and karma and healing and learning and growth and evolution. I mean, now we have fucking cell phones, hasn't made it much easier. But we have access to more information. What will we do with it, right? That, of course, we're going to get the things that we want. But the speed at which we learn, we heal, we grow, and ultimately we're not in control of that. Free will and control are not the same thing. Free will is free will. Control is control. Not the same thing. Free will is how you want to play the game. You don't get to decide what happens in the game. So let's clarify this Five of Blades, right? This changing of thought, this hurricane of this whirlwind of information and data that can be very overwhelming. And where is the safest place to be in a hurricane? In the eye. In the eye of the hurricane. In the I am that I am. Let it all swirl around you, because no hurricane lasts forever. Right? Just breathe. Stay centered. My gods, please clarify one card for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for December-ish 2019, ultimately a timeless read. Please clarify this card, Five of Blades. You'll love this. Five of Blades, the hurricane, is clarified with Six of Swords, moving on to calmer waters, right? To me, the card of counseling, the card of psychology, the card of meditation, contemplation, moving, propelling oneself forward mentally out of the hurricane, out of the storm, out of the choppy seas, the choppy waters, into more of the still calmness of the grotto, where one can land safely. Just keep it in the eye. Very Alcoholics Anonymous, very 12-step. Keep it in the eye, the EYE, and the I am that I am. That all of this is happening for your betterment, but you may not see it. This is about calming yourself down, allowing that hurricane, the air, to settle. Interesting, the amount of air cards here, but all indicating, like, really going back to that mutable water. We've got 3 more cards down. We got your past, your present, your future, right? That's where you were, where you are, where you're going. Now let's ask the angels for their celestial overview, because I find it often very helpful. For big picture, right? You got some detail, you got some timeline, you got some archetypal stuff, lead and gold. Let's go to like 1 or 2 words, like an oracle word. Breathe. Please, my angels, 1 card in clarity for this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for December-ish, though timeless, 2019. Please, 1 card in clarity, your celestial overview. Divine guidance, best card. You're being guided. That's why the prostitute archetype, trust. You don't have to negotiate your spirit. You are being guided by your own higher self, by your own future self, because really the higher self is the future self in the higher dimensions. It's still a timeline from where we are. We will eventually be our higher selves. And every time we do inner child work or anything like that, where we bless our own hearts, we are playing the role of the higher self to selves past, right? No idea. It's like the Course in Miracles says, a miracle, and this is wicked paraphrased, a miracle is never wasted. It affects people, places, and situations you have no idea about, and that certainly can include in the quantum your own past selves, your own past lives. We're all one, right? Fifth dimensional unity consciousness means this is all one thing, right? So the divine guidance is there. That's why you don't have to compromise the truth of who you are. You don't have to be a villain through this. You don't have to be just all of that toxicity and lead. You're not. That's the role you may have played. You don't have to play it anymore. The angels are saying you have the guidance, but you have to take the journey. You have to trust it. And again, no rush. It's up to you. It's really that question of how much longer do you need to suffer, because sometimes we just have to suffer to learn. I had somebody in my life who was abusing me. I didn't even know they were abusing me. They were so covert about it. I did send them an email. I said, look, I love you. But here's what I need. You want to be with me? Therapy? You got to be single. You got to have a stable job and a home. Because anybody, right? Like anybody needs that, right? Self-worth. Anybody who wants to get into the castle of my soul, be my partner, sit by my side, let alone rule next to me. You feeling me? It's like, oh, no, not prostituting myself. We're all being guided. There's not one person without guidance on this planet. We can't breathe without guidance coming into us. But will we negotiate that guidance away over survival concerns when really we're being led? It's really, the prostitute archetype is about faith. And, we're all born with faith, but where do we spend it? In the physical 3D world, which is constantly shifting and changing, or with the divine, which, when we see it from that fifth dimensional perspective, everything that has ever happened, this life, past life, any life, is happening for us to grow, to heal, to learn, to evolve, and fulfill our role in the divine plan, which is why we came in. We were chosen to play these roles in these lives. Speaking of all this celestial fifth dimensional shit, let's ask the higher selves of all involved through the Whispers of Love Oracle. Please, 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 please. Please breathe. I quit smoking. I'm doing really well. I have not had a cigarette. Oh my God. I can't remember the last time I had a cigarette, but maybe it's been a little bit over a week. Still cleaning out the head cold or detoxing, whatever. So please bear with me while I breathe. Breathe with me. Waiting to inhale. Please. The higher selves of all involved. One card in clarity. A whisper of love for this Capricorn collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. On the path of true love. Timeless, but December-ish 2019. What say you, higher selves of all involved? Be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Now, there is a divine masculine thing that you can do. Expression. But what if that expression, be willing to express love, is to the divine? Right? That may be part of what you're learning here, part of your own practice, to express love, not just to the higher power, plural, as you so choose, but that you express love to that child in your heart that has been manipulated and say, honey, I love you. I love you, and I want to learn how to express love to you in a way and walk the path of true love with honor and dignity and faith that somehow we will all be taken care of. It's simple, but it's not easy. And honey, I love you, right? Because I have to say, particularly with this walking away, being left out in the cold, whether that's you or you had to let go of somebody, that was part of the divine guidance of all of this, and being willing to express love. Maybe after that you're sort of gun shy. Well, then express love silently. Send it through the airwaves. Look, we're all one. It's not like, oh, I have to connect. We're all, connected is even an illusion. We're all one. It's not we're all woven into the same fabric. There's only one fabric. There's only one thread, right? That's oneness. So be willing to express love, even silently, through prayer, through kindness. Even if it's may all beings be blessed with love. As I bless my heart, all hearts are blessed. May all hearts be blessed with love. To whatever, to your home, to your clothes, I love you. Just start small, right? It's sort of like hitting like on Facebook, but it's like making deposits in your heart that if you're overdrawn, it takes a while for you to build it up to where you can feel it, to where that child of the heart goes, yeah. So be willing to express love to yourself, to your heart, to your inner child, to others. But remember, if you're not ready to do it to the person that ghosted you or you had to shut out, do it silently. Bless you. Maybe this is for the best. What do I know? But I know that if I don't choose love, I'm going to spin my wheels here. I'm going to be always caught in the surf. May you be blessed. May you be blessed with the love only you can give you. Ooh, there's a good one. May you be blessed with the love that only you can give yourself. Because I can't. And may I be blessed with the love that only I can give myself so that I never have to compromise. I probably will, but I never really do have to negotiate my spirit ever again. If I can do that, if I can learn how to do that, and remember, your current tarot here is the learner. Don't worry about it. You're not supposed to master it. You're in learning mode. And really, do we ever really, while in body, still master self-love? Maybe. I don't know. But we have one more card down. And it is a Journey of Love Oracle card, and I'm going to read it from the book. Because this deck is fucking amazing. I don't mind cursing. Obviously, I don't. But this one has just seemed to sum up, whenever I use it with a client, for myself, or in one of these YouTube readings, it always seems to just sew everything up so perfectly, even referencing other cards that are already on the table. So let's do this. We started with the collective pantheons. Let's end with the pantheons, and then I will give you your review and pop the picture up at the end. Ready? Breathe. Nice, full deep breath. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for December-ish, yet timeless 2019. Please, where are they on the path of true love? A Journey of Love card. Oh, the first card, Heartfire. Heartfire! Not heartburn, Heartfire. Hearing Dragonfly radio silence. Thank you, Blondie. Thank you, Debbie Harry. All right, here we go. I'm going to read it. This one's relatively quick. First, there's a little bit about the card, the meaning, what it means as an oracle, and then a poem. And I always cross my legs for this part because it gives me better posture for my reading voice. Card number 1, Heartfire. Passion is igniting within you. It is not a time when things will remain still, even if the change is only sensed as a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright, like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride the waves of passion. See what I mean? Through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride the waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with the love for life. Express love for life. Did you hear that? The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, like the Pisces card, you will trust in its presence. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more, it is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all that is. This oracle brings a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. That's the voice of divine guidance in this case. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you are feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart right now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to life. Here's the poem. Please take a nice deep breath. Life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams. Like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part. Our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude I offer prayer with thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. Heart of fire. Heart of fire, the divine at your core, right? Expand, contract. Expand, contract. Heat and cool. Heat and cool. Cool. Let's give you a lovely overview in review. Say it with me. Magic clap. We start with the prostitute archetype in the shadow. Places material considerations and security above self-empowerment and what's connected to that manipulation, either being manipulated by manipulating the self or manipulating someone else, but all because of placing material considerations and security above self-empowerment. The light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit, and the gold connected to that is self-worth. It is through re-evaluating the worth of the self, more than self-esteem, self-worth, that helps you move into the light attribute. In the past, we've got the combination of the Maiden of Cups, Pisces energy, with Five of Pentacles, that perhaps some ebb and flow here around either leaving someone out in the cold, walking away physically, or being left out in the cold, being shut out from that which is wanted. There is some ebb and flow on that. Certainly perhaps more of the cooling than the passion that was shown in the Heart of Fire. But in the present moment, here we've got the learner, the Eight of Pentacles, paired with the Two of Wands, which is certainly about building that fire from an ace to a deuce to a three to a on and on and on, building that heart fire in that context, but also really still kind of planning. It's like, well, do I want to go back to that where I was locked out, or to what I locked out? Or do I want to go in deeper and do the healing? Do I want to go to the source, the heart of fire? And in the future, there is that Five of Blades, the Hurricane, but matched with the Six, from the 5 to the 6, a natural progression of blades and swords, all the element of air, from rough to calmer waters. Definitely a card of therapy, of counseling, of self-speak, of nurturance, but in the psychological, particularly the mental aspect. The angels are saying you've got divine guidance left, right, and center here. You've never been without it in this situation. But the question is will you prostitute away the guidance that you have gotten, or will you walk ahead in faith and yet still be willing to express love? When we express love, we begin to receive more love, says your higher self and the higher selves of all involved, even if that is expressing love to the child within, to the self, to others, even in prayer to the divine. Ending with that card of heart fire, that there is a natural pulse here, but that if you have been going through a cooler period or a place of not feeling passion or not being called forward into life, that is about to change with the speed of a heartbeat. Just breathe. Well, my Capricorns, a real pleasure to read for you. Not an easy read, but good to know. Good to know, very practical read, to know that you're learning right now and to be very gentle with yourself, to start that communication, that be willing to express love to that child in your heart. So when it feels scared, when it feels hurt, that you be there. It's soulmate. I love you. It's okay. You tell me. You tell me. And it will often go, That's how it can communicate like a baby, but in time, be able to say, I want to go back, but I know I can't, but I really want to. And it's like, it's okay, sweetheart, I know. I'm so confused. Of course you are. Why? This would be confusing for anybody, sweetheart. It's okay to be confused. Go read my book, Words of Grace. There's a lot of that in there, how to really give grace to the heart here. Because your worth is beyond calculating. You're a divine child. We all are. And imagine a whole planet, right? I'm getting a little John Lennon moment here, right? Of unity consciousness, of everybody being aware of the divine child. There's only one son. Even the Course of Miracles says there's only one Son of God. But it's all of us together as one, right? One divine child. War would stop. Violence would stop. Predation, right? Being predators, that would stop. Child abuse would stop. Hunger would stop, right? Because the empathy would be too strong. We couldn't bear to see experience anybody else's pain and suffering, let alone cause it, right? So maybe this is your part of contributing to that, right? To love that child within and find that heart fire within you. Let's end you with a blessing here. May the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love in a timeless sense, but particularly for December 2019 or whenever they watch this, that they may receive all that they need, inner and outer, to love, to heal, to grow, to become the best that they can be, and fulfill their role in the divine plan to make their heart's desires, their dreams, come true for the well-being of all. And so it is. Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you so much, my Capricorns. Please do like and subscribe. Share this if you feel like there's someone who could use it. Hit that notification bell. And as always, I wish you the very best and the very blessed. I think us earth signs, not that we have it harder, but we have to really embody it into physical form. That's what we do best. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching again. But for now, my Capricorns, hail, farewell, and blessed be.